downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Reality show star and prominent attorney Eboni K. Williams went on social media telling young black women they need to go find their husbands in college and get an MRS as they're getting their BA.
Reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Now, this is a major about face for Eboni K. Williams, who back in May of 2023 said that she was too good for a bus driver. And after making that statement that she was too good for a bus driver, Eboni K. Williams then went and made the announcement that she was looking to become a single mother and looking to have her first baby on her own. Well, something must have happened to Eboni K. Williams for her to make an about face on the talking point she made in May, and now she's looking to go out here and give advice to young black women to go out here and pursue a husband as they're looking to get their college degree. Now, this whole campaign of changing her talking points is one that I believe is extremely disingenuous, and the only reason why Eboni K. Williams, I believe, is making this about face is because she's participating in the behavior of a female chameleon. Now, YouTuber Sandman talks all about the female chameleon in one of his iconic videos, and what Eboni K. Williams is doing right now is looking to change her colors and change the color of her talking points in order to get the attention of a lot of males in social spaces like the manosphere and make them believe that they have an ally who is on their side. But Eboni K. Williams is not on the side of those males. No, what she's doing, like female chameleons do, is saying what these males want to hear in a desperate attempt to get their favor and approval, because she's basically went out here and alienated herself from black male spaces, and because she's alienated herself from most black male spaces for her disrespectful statements as related to bus drivers, which was a code word for black men. She knows she's basically run out of options as related to having any sort of black man consider her for a relationship. Now, that whole situation with black men, Ebony K. Williams, put the nail in the coffin for way back in the early days of the pandemic, because during that time, Ebony K. Williams was out here dating a prominent white attorney, and as she was dating this prominent white attorney, she thought that this man was looking to go out here and possibly marry her. But the whole thing is, during the lockdown, what this man did was lock down his relationship with his former wife and children, and he was doing that basically because he feared his own mortality. And as he feared his own mortality, he decided to go out here and cement his social status with his white family, and kicked Ebony K. Williams to the curb like many white men do, and basically treated her like the side piece he basically saw her as. And with Ebony K. Williams being up in age and on the road to bust downtown, Ebony K. Williams basically arrogantly thought that, like most feminist indoctrinated women, she could possibly find some other options. However, she found herself running out of options, and this is where she came on Iyanla Vanzant's program. And as she came on Iyanla Vanzant's program, she started to go out here and denounce black men with the code word bus driver. And when she did this, again, it created a firestorm of controversy. And that firestorm of controversy, it riled up a lot of black men, and as related to the gender wars. But most critical thinking black men basically knew that this was a last-ditch effort from Ebony K. Williams to try to get attention for herself, because at 40 years old, she basically was on the road to bust downtown and basically looking to sign a lease for an apartment 12D. And as she was looking to go out here and sign that lease, she was hoping that there would be some simps that would pay her attention. But she basically burnt that bridge, and she started to talk about bragging about becoming a single mother, further burning bridges with black men. And with all the bridges burnt and no guys paying attention, what Ebony K. Williams was looking to do was hoping some simp would go out here and put on a cape and some Mickey Mouse galoshes and come out and save her. And with no guys saving her, what she's seeing is that she has nobody who's paying her attention. So now she's out here looking to pull an about face, and she's pulling the about face like the female chameleon does, hoping that if she changes her colors, what will happen is this group of males in the manosphere will go out here and say that she's a good woman, hoping that these simps will give her a chance, and hoping one of these simps who puts on the cape and the Mickey Mouse galoshes will be the guy who will save her from a final fate in bust downtown, where she will remain single for the rest of her life. She's hoping some simp will come out here and play Prince Charming and save her from herself. Unfortunately, there are no guys out here who care about Ebony K. Williams at this point, because Ebony K. Williams has shown us the content of her character. She's shown us that she is an arrogant, extremely disrespectful woman who is not a woman who is suited to be a helpmeet and a support to a man. No, she's all about herself, and we see through this whole facade of selflessness and see the selfish woman that she is. Because as she's looking to go out here and give this advice to black women based on her entire failure of a life, what she wants to do is, again, hope to create a covert contract where some simp will say, oh, she's learned from her mistakes, I can give her a chance, and hoping that by giving this advice, she will get one of these simps to go out here and be the final simp, a fate worse than death, because it's the final simp is the guy who has to deal with all the wrath from this woman, from the numerous emotional issues she had with other men, and has to deal with all of the demons that this woman has inside of herself. This is what Eboni K. Williams is looking for the final simp, and you have to look past all of the talking points that she's presenting in her video. Now, Eboni K. Williams, as she's presenting herself, is trying to talk about all of the talking points that many guys like the late Kevin Samuels and many others, including myself, have told women that they need to go out here and look for a husband when they are younger, and have to go out here and look to be a helpmeet to a man. But the whole thing is that this woman is coming across as disingenuous, because if a woman she has to be on that road from the beginning. And I talk about this in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. A woman has to be on a God-centered road from the beginning if she wants a husband, because that should be her priority, because our job is to go out here and do God's work on earth. But you cannot go out here and take a woman who is already living in sin and say to her, and she's going to go out here and give you advice, because again, the devil always goes out here and they can quote scriptures, and this is what Eboni K. Williams is trying to do as a female chameleon. What she's looking to do is go out here and show people a color about herself, but that's all a facade, because once people start to accept her in their social circles, that's when Eboni K. Williams will go from being the female chameleon to showing everybody her true colors. And her true colors basically are that she has contempt for black men, has no respect for black men, has no regard for black men, wants nothing to do with black men. And if a white dude were to roll up, we would see the truth about Eboni K. Williams. And she's basically, again, fearful about her final fate, which is bust downtown, being single for the rest of her life in an apartment with a cat and a view of a graveyard, knowing that her last days are coming and she's going to be alone for all of those days. And the main reason why she's going to be alone for all of those days is because she followed the paradigm of failure I talk about in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. And because she's followed that paradigm of failure, she's basically failed as a woman, because a woman's success is not a college degree. A woman's success is not a job. A woman's success is not a career. No, a woman's success is a husband and a family and children that love her. That is what the Most High wants to give a woman. But a woman has to be submitted to God's order, and she has to understand that she needs to be a part of God's order. That's what Eboni K. Williams doesn't get from the talking point she parroted from many gender war videos and Kevin Samuels. She's just out here taking these talking points and looking to use them to tell many of the black males what they want to hear. But the truth is, she really hasn't learned anything as related to the sad state of her life. She hasn't learned anything about being a woman. And what we're seeing is the last days of a woman in crisis that I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis. And Eboni K. Williams is fighting and scratching and kicking to try to maintain her relevance. Her social market, she knows her social marketplace value has dropped lower than a $5 food stamp without the book, and I would dare to say even lower than a $20 food stamp without the book. Eboni K. Williams knows that she's becoming less and less socially relevant, and she's knowing that she's basically becoming forgotten, and she fears becoming forgotten, because if people aren't talking about her, people aren't caring. And that's what's happening to Eboni K. Williams that has her terrified, that she's knowing that less and less people are talking about her. So she comes out here making this about face, but this about face is just showing how desperate she is to stay relevant, because in the social marketplace, most of the men who are her age basically don't care at this point. And most of the younger guys aren't looking to get in the skid mark jockey thong of a cougar who has over a cajillion miles more than a Plymouth Breeze, and most of those guys are basically blowing Eboni K. Williams off, so she's desperate to get black men's attention, the same black men she threw a middle finger up when she had her white man. Now she's desperate for that attention, and now she's possibly now talking about all this stuff to black women, hoping a bus driver will pay her attention, but most of those bus drivers heard what she said, and now they're driving right past her and leaving her to her final fate, where she remains in bus downtown for the rest of her life. Now, if you want to learn how to break out of the paradigm of failure that destroyed Eboni K. Williams' life, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com right now. And you can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers. And if you want to learn why women like Eboni K. Williams wind up on the road to bust downtown, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashware's The iBookstore and Google Play. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about why many black women are single, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many black women can't find a husband and why 70% of black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.
Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.